This is ClearCut Plus coming to you live from New York City. Thanks for watching. The showdown over Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh just got bigger. Now a third woman is accusing Kavanaugh of wrongdoing just one day before he's due to testify on Capitol Hill. Emily Rao has more from Washington.
Another round of explosive allegations has Brett Kavanaugh making comparisons to the Twilight Zone. Less than 24 hours before Kavanaugh and his first accuser, Professor Christine Blasey Ford, testify, lawyer Michael Avenatti told The View his client, Julie Swetnick, wants to come forward.
And she wants the American public to know the truth about Brett Kavanaugh and about his conduct.
Swetnick alleges she saw Kavanaugh engaging in what she calls abusive and physically aggressive behavior toward girls in the early 1980s, including the, quote, fondling and grabbing of girls without their consent and attempting to remove or shift their clothing while he was drunk. ABC News has confirmed the Senate Judiciary Committee has received a sworn declaration from Swetnick, and in it she claims she's received multiple security clearances for federal agencies. Kavanaugh responding to the latest accusations, saying, quote, "This is ridiculous. I don't know who this is, and this never happened." President Trump going after Avenatti on Twitter, calling him a third-rate lawyer good at making false accusations, then saying,
"If you look at this lawyer that just came out, he's a lowlife."
Senators on both sides clearly frustrated.
I think it is a smear. I don't think there's any question in my mind about it, but I'm willing to keep an open mind.
Republicans need to immediately suspend the proceedings related to Judge Kavanaugh's nomination.
Emily Rao reporting there. And as our reporter just said, the confirmation process is frustrating both politicians and people watching at home, too. Let's get into this with our guests, contributor to the Conservative Review, Tom Borelli, and senior political contributor for Forbes magazine, Rick Unger. So, gentlemen, since we last tackled this, some more accusations coming out of the woodwork. Again, not substantiated, not corroborated meaningfully yet. What do you make of this latest one, Rick? This situation that the Kavanaugh was at a party and he was getting girls drunk, and
you never know what to make out of allegations like this. What makes this one slightly different is this accuser did so by way of declaration, which means she signed it under penalty of perjury. Here's the problem we've got, though. You know, I'm a big believer in the American judicial system. I really do believe in it. And there's two key elements. One is the presumption of innocence for the defendant. In this case, we'll make the comparison to Judge Kavanaugh. He deserves and must have that presumption of innocence. And secondly, the importance of cross-examination. Now, unfortunately, this woman is not going to be testifying in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee. And that's a shame, because I'd like to see her cross-examined.
Tom, you think every woman that comes out should get a hearing and get to be cross-examined?
Well, in an ideal world, yes, but there is a clock here. And what bothers me most about this whole issue was the timeline. You know, Senator Feinstein had the original letter from Dr. Ford, I think it was July 30th, and then Dr. Ford had a polygraph test about a week later. Right. So it seems like there was a lot of scheming going on with the last-minute hit. And then when you look at the lawyers, the lawyer for Ford is a Democrat activist. She on TV, she said, I'm part of the resist. And then you have Michael Avenatti. I mean, if this woman had a real case, would you pick Michael Avenatti, you know, the porn lawyer, as your lawyer, if you're really going for credibility? There's no shortage of lawyers, as we know, Rick. He's one of them.
Does Avenatti discredit this claim?
Yeah, in an odd way, I actually kind of agree. Now, Avenatti, strangely, has a really good trial record, but he is so overexposed that most people agree with the president that he's a sleaze. So I do take the point. I do have to say this about Senator Feinstein, and I keep hearing this over and over again. From what we know so far, the reason she did not come forward with that letter is because she had promised Dr. Ford that she would not and honored her promise. If it turns out that that's not the case and she was playing politics, I would agree with you 100%. But from what we know so far, that was her reason. She only came forward after Dr. Ford was outed in a story.
And you give something to Congress and you don't expect the letter to leak somewhere.
Go figure.
Well, Tom, Chuck Schumer says that Kavanaugh should not be seen as innocent until proven guilty. That sentiment echoed
and so is
by
Michael
other Democrats.
Blumenthal from Connecticut and the senator from Hawaii. You know, they're all flipping what, you know, Rick agrees is, which must be our rule of law. But this is really all politics. And I really think what's going on now, the Democrats are really overplaying their hand. And I think if you want to turn out the Republican base for the midterm election, keep going. Because I think American people care about fairness. This process does not seem fair.
Rick, how do we get to the bottom of this? The witnesses that Ford has cited have so far refuted her claims. She did come out with a written testimony. She's got the polygraph. Some lawyers would argue that that doesn't hold much water. Is the process tomorrow actually going to give us anything conclusive, do you think, assuming Ford shows up?
I'm inclined to think not. I mean, look, the polygraph, it's not that it's not admissible in court because we're not in court. What we don't know is what questions she was asked. Therefore, we have absolutely no idea if there's any value to that polygraph or not. Could have been, what's your name and where do you live? We don't know. But I got to go back to this other point because this is important. There are issues at stake here that go well beyond this particular judge becoming a justice. Yeah. And when I hear Chuck Schumer say, no, he is not entitled to that presumption, this is going to come back to bite him because someday there's going to be a liberal nominee to the Supreme Court that he is going to support, and there will be allegations.
That is certainly problematic. Tom, some, including some Republicans, are suggesting that this nomination just be withdrawn. It's too much hassle, the president just picks somebody new. Is that a good idea, or does that set a dangerous precedent?
That would be a horrible idea and set a very dangerous precedent that you could, in the last minute, after the hearings, after private meetings with senators, you can pull, you know, a rabbit out of the hat and really do a political assassination in terms of a man's reputation, or even a woman in the future reputation. So I think it would be a bad precedent.
Unless he withdraws because he's afraid of evidence that's going to come out. I don't see that happening. One other thing I will say to my fellow Democrats, be careful.
You don't sound like much of a Democrat
Well,
tonight,
because I just tell the truth. Be careful what you wish for. Because I have a sense that if Kavanaugh were to go away, I know what's coming next. And if you didn't like Kavanaugh, man, you're going to hate what's coming down the road.
What's coming down the road?
I'm not going to say.
Oh,
but
right.
a
the
judge,
most conservative female judge you could find.
Thank you very much. The most conservative female judge on the planet.
Well, sexual misconduct allegations could be challenging with that. Tom, Rick, always an interesting conversation. Thank you, gentlemen.
Good to be here.
All right. Well, meanwhile,